Welcome to For the Vibes, the self-improvement podcast where intentional living meets good energy. Hi, I'm Cass. I was hoping we could catch a vibe real quick. In today's episode, we will discuss something that is just as important as alignment. We will discuss self-care. But not just bubble baths and face masks, although we love those. Self-care as in protecting our energy. Self-care as a way to reset your energy for aligning with your intentions. We will explore why self-care is an essential approach to intentionality and how you can create a life that resonates with your highest energy. So, we for the vibes. Grab a beer, grab a glass of wine, grab coffee maybe or tea. I'm grabbing a cocktail. Anything you can sip on while you like to vibe. I'll give you a minute. Cheers. So glad to vibe with you. I hosted a friend over the weekend and we watched a movie, Harry Potter. I don't know if anybody watches Harry Potter during the holiday season, but Harry Potter is like my favorite thing to watch during the holidays. I don't know why. I don't even know if it's like classified a holiday film, but I just love Harry Potter. So we watched Harry Potter and she brought over a bottle, and it's a bottle of tequila that I haven't had before. And it's very good. It's so good. Like I've never tasted anything like it before, and it leaves an orange flavor on your palate. And so I mixed it with Sprite and I squeezed a little more orange in it. It brought out so much more of those flavors, and it's like chef's kiss. Thank you, friend. It was good. Also, if you want to check out my last episode on the art of aligning yourself with your goals and how to create a life that resonates with your highest self, click the link down in the description box. The first link. Give it a listen to or a watch, but finish this one first. Please. Hi, Papa. Hello. Keep going. I think you mean to sit right here. Right here. Slide it over. Keep going. Going. Sit. No. Sit. Away from me. By yourself. Boundaries. No. Right there. Instantly purring. Just instantly purring. I love my cat, but I try to set boundaries with him because you know how like cats are very like... Cats want attention when they want attention. So I try to teach him boundaries. So that way he knows that like just because he wants attention doesn't mean I want that attention or I want to give him that attention. So I like to, when he wants to be next to me and I'm like doing something where I can't just actively be giving him that attention that he needs, I'll direct him to like sit next to me. So that way it's like he still gets that attention, but independently. Discipline your pets, okay? Your pets understand you. Discipline them. They know you love them regardless. So discipline your past. So whether it's toxic relationships, overcommitting to things that you don't really care for, or just neglecting your basic needs, identifying what drains your energy is the first step to resetting. In order for you to identify what drains you, you can just simply ask yourself what's depleting me and kind of take some time and reflect on what comes up. For me, I realized this a little while ago was that I was saying yes to too many things that didn't serve me. I was trying to give my best to work. I was trying to give my best to relationships, romantic as well as friendships. And I was also trying to give my best to my personal goals. But I was completely neglecting myself. I was neglecting what I needed to do in order to actually be able to give my best to those things. A few self care practices that worked for me, however small, but made a huge impact was number one, taking about 5 to 10 minutes daily just to check in with yourself and breathe. It's amazing how much clarity you can gain from stillness and mindfulness. Another one was movement, whether it was yoga, going for a walk, or just simply dancing around my space. I found that moving my body really helped release stress as well as it promoted good vibes. Another huge thing, another huge practice that worked for me was resting. Okay? Resting is productive. Give yourself permission to nap. Give yourself permission to sleep in. Give yourself permission to do nothing without feeling guilty. Thinking about what makes you really happy and what lights you up inside is the key to self-care, and self-care is for the soul. So giving yourself permission to honor where you are and what you need is essential. I mentioned this in my last episode, but I'm going to say it again and I'm going to continue to say it because it is so important. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Protect your energy by setting clear boundaries. Learn to say no when you need to and prioritize what really matters. People will try you if you let them. So protect your space and set your boundaries. You can't pour from an empty cup. I was pouring into everything but myself. And then the things that I was pouring into weren't pouring back, but I was still pouring into them because it's what you're supposed to do, isn't it? You're supposed to pour into things. You're supposed to pour into the people that you love. You're not supposed to neglect yourself, though. And I did that. Remember that self care is as much about being present with yourself as it is about doing something for yourself. Which leads us to our vibe session, where I would like to take a quick moment to just pause and just check in and see where our vibe is today. Whether it's creating, reading, spending time with loved ones, or just enjoying a good playlist, as I love to do, lean into joy. For me, it's finding ways to use joy and implement joy into my everyday. This podcast, for example, has been such a beautiful way for me to express myself with you all. And it's been something so far out of my comfort zone that I never thought that I would do. But as we're focusing on intentionality and moving forward with intentionality and prioritizing ourselves, it's been a very good way for me to kind of get out of my head and live more outwardly. Before we close, I want to leave you with this thought. Self-care doesn't need to look the same every day. Some days it can be just about being productive. It can be about you organizing your space or planning out your week. Other days, it could just be about being still, taking a moment to cry or to just exist without judgment. For me, my vibe checks have been about carving out intentional alone time for me to recharge. No phones, no distractions, just me with a cup of tea or a glass of wine and my papas, of course, and my thoughts, and just checking in and seeing where we are and what we can do to improve, even by the smallest bit. Thank you for joining me on For the Vibes. If anything I said resonated with you, or if you caught a quick vibe, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to be a part of my community. I would love to see what kind of vibes we can get into. Until then, stay intentional, stay vibey. I am intentional. I am for the vibes. If you made it this far, you are really for the vibes, so you get a treat. You get to watch my bloopers. Here are some self-care practices that worked for me. They were small steps but made a huge impact. Taking 5 to 10 minutes daily to just I think identifying what drains you is the first step to resetting. Whether it's toxic relationships or overcommitting to things you don't really care about or neglecting your basic needs, I think identifying what's draining you is the first step to resetting your energy, is the first step to self-care. I think identifying what's draining you is the first step to self-care, whether it's like toxic relationships, overcommitting to things you don't really care about, or just neglecting your basic needs. Knowing what depletes you, I think identifying what drains you is the first step to resetting. Whether it's identifying whether it's Ciao, until next time.